hello to our players today. These two being both on a good way to maybe making it to the playoffs for Znat and making it for sure to the playoffs for Mr. Jardaboj. And we are back on the map that we saw quite often in the last couple of days. That one being Tully in Huntala. And it will show, let's see how Znat and Jardaboj can do on it. How they will manage. Jardaboj is already safe first place in his group. 4 victories already. But Znat still can make it if he wins against Jardaboj. If he only has a tie, he will be 3rd place behind Adler. But if he wins here, he can still get to the playoffs. So it's really important for him to win here. And yeah, we are on the interesting map. Jardaboj also with a really strong and interesting division. First, Trindata Romania Mare. Znat on the other side with 21st Panzer and also a strong Axis armored division. Ooh, Pak 38 already getting the first snipe out here. Getting the second snipe out here. So 2 kills already for the Pak 38 before even engaging any armored targets, just on transport kills. So good start there for Znat. Good start there for him. And I have to lower the volume on my headphones, otherwise the music is way too loud for me, but I don't think it should be too loud for you guys. Let me know if it is. You gotta keep me informed about that. So, not up to 13-11. I played him on this map before in the last couple of days. He is really good in putting up pressure. So I was able to beat him, but it was, yeah, 97th versus 12 SS in that one. Let's see if Jardaboj is able to do so as well. He obviously has strong infantry and he has a lot of cheap German armored, but he can't give up with King Tigers or anything like that. But obviously King Tigers you first have to afford as Znat. Also, it's Jardaboj on Flatline, which is really interesting, because Flatline is a bit out of business, versus Znat on Balanced. So it's actually Jardaboj who's supposed to be the more aggressive kind of player here, while it's Znat who is going up to 16-8. And Pak 38 down here gets engaged. E4 is also coming in. E4 is engaging the Pak 38 over here. Maybe Hoich is engaging the Flammenwerfers. Should be able to deal with it. Getting a kill onto the Pak 38. And the Flammenwerfers over here moving forward. Panzer 4 gets the kill over here. So Znat's advantage getting busted here, but in the north it's interesting to see Jardaboj not engaging with armor here at all. Like usually you want to hold this with some form of protection, this whole section of the map. He did decide against it, and this allows Znat maybe to push in here. And if you get to this ridge here, to this horse, and can capture that as the red player, you're in a really good position, because you can shut down all the way down here into this reinforcement road, can also shoot into this reinforcement road, and it's really hard to get you out of this territory because you can reinforce it from back here relatively easily. Obviously if the enemy can get in here again, it cuts that again, but still a really dangerous position to let your enemy into as Jardaboj. Sends in some Vanatory Motor up there. In the south he has the superior forces, I think. Oh, but a single Panzer 4 against Panzer 3 and Panzer G. Should lose out there. Ooh, but gets the gun jam. Important crit there. Goes down afterwards, but gun jam on Panzer 4G basically takes it out as well. Maybe Horse and Panzer 4s over here moving forward. 231 on the other side. A bit better version of the armored cars compared to the 222. 5 more frontal armor. Panzer 4 is now coming through. T4s. First one gets killed off instantaneously though. And a lot of other units also dying here for Jardaboj, and it's up to a 16-8 here for Mr. Znat. Who's doing really well for him right now. Really well. E4 engaging the Panzer 3M. Maybe Hoich coming around. More Vanatori Moto moving into the south as well. Driver killed over here. 59 for Znat. Kills off the transport over here. Yeah, that's all I said. This is a dangerous position. When the MP42s can come in here, maybe even, yeah, something like a Pak-38, although this one obviously will take forever to get there. Marder's also on the way. Marder is really good now, since they have 10 hit points. They moved up from basically useless to pretty good in killing tanks off. In just one patch. And with this change that does look weak on paper, but in reality it's nearly as much as if they would have doubled the hit points of those, because now they need 2 shots, 2 penetration shots from medium tanks to be killed instead of only 1. So that makes them a lot more likely to get 2 shots off onto the enemy, 3 shots off to the enemy, and penetrate the enemy first, because obviously Marders have the aim time bonus like all tank destroyers. So they are really good in engaging tanks, especially when you give them a bit of veterancy with leaders. They don't come in with good base veterancy themselves, because, like, at least most of them don't, because the curve for that is pretty shitty, the availability curve. They fall off hard in availability when you take them with veterancy, so you usually don't take them within the first place, but you can often get some leaders or even maybe a commander next to them in the positions where they are at, so that works out. IG-ATs and MG-42s. Jardaboj trying to push himself through the south, and he's getting some good kills right now, and Znat is sending a bit too many lonely Panzer IVs right in there at the moment. And that might be able to snowball effect for Znat down here, whilst obviously the north, he basically gave up for now. He has to win the south and move on from there. Ooh, both T4s getting taken out here. Unlucky for Jardaboj. Now the Stu also gets killed off by the Panzer IV-G. Oh my god. In a couple of seconds, the whole armored force down here from Jardaboj went from being far superior to completely demolished. And that takes a lot of pressure from Znat, allowing him to focus on the center again, where he also has the upper hand, I think. It's 2 Marders, 3 Panzer IVs against only 2 Panzer IVs. The Panzer Shrek doesn't get the kill. Oh my god, another unlucky hit, or another unlucky thing there for Jardaboj. And Znat keeps the 12-12 up. It's a really interesting front line. Pretty interesting game from both sides. Playing absolutely aggressive style here. Going all in everywhere. Matcherino Moto coming up as that's trying to move in here to capture the flag. Panzer IV versus T4 down here, I think. Or what are you aiming at? Okay, it's disengaging. What the hell? Why was there an attack order onto the MG-42 over here? I don't get it. But Znat breaks through in the center, gets to 59 again. So he takes the flag here and he takes the flags over here. 2-3 run goes down. And this is an insane game. Both sides losing a lot of units, but it looks way better for Znat. He really is a guy. Both of these players are liking their German armored divisions, liking to put pressure onto the enemy with them heavily from the get-go. Oh, why did the E3 don't... Oh, why did he keep it turning? Why didn't he just follow the Focke-Wulf? E3 is one of the most mobile and agile planes, especially if you get them 1-star veterancy, so they actually can do shit in dogfights. Don't know why he is just not hunting. Yeah, now it's too late. Now the Focke-Wulf will get out. Or not. Znat actually sends it back in. That's maybe a mistake. Yeah, I think it is. Or well, he gets maybe the HS-129. HS-129 goes for the curve, but I think that's too late. Yeah, that's too late. Focke-Wulf gets the kill. Next E3 though gets the kill onto the Focke-Wulf, but that's a lot of planes investment for Jardaboj in a second where he absolutely needs it on the ground. Like the second E3 is something he couldn't afford. Needed infantry instead. For now it's going to a 17-7. This game might be over fast because Jardaboj is taking down and he's picking down fast here, and he's the one with more income in A. All the minutes, all the phases after A, his income is behind Znat's. So this was actually supposed to be the phase where he is winning and he's losing hard, so chances of him getting back into this game in my eyes, rather limited. IG-18 coming up over here. AB Hoich. Last man standing over here. Martyrs hunting down the T4. Yeah, this is it, guys. This is it. Wow. T4 goes down over here. Martyr pushing in. Like, really, it was bloody for both sides. Like, it's not like Znat didn't have any casualties here, but he traded way better in a lot of moments. So, well, he looks like he comes out ahead in this one. 18-6 now. With only so few game units left on the map for Jardaboj. And this keeps Znat's chances for the playoffs alive. Pioneers getting engaged here. But yeah, if he wins here, he keeps his chances for the playoffs alive. Only one game away then from the playoffs. Only one victory. But obviously also only one shot left. One shot, one opportunity. Martyrs over here, engaging onto the mandatory Karane. ME-109's getting home. Sturmpanzer 4 on the map. Moving forward. J75 engaging onto the Martyrs. Getting the kill. Yeah, that's Truppen versus Pioneer. Yeah, Jardaboj is winning the infantry fights over here, but they don't matter. There's no way he's getting back in here. Impressive aggression by Znat. Yeah, his aggressive playstyle is really solid. And really something I'm always on my edge when I play against Znat. But like sometimes he's overextending and then you can beat him. Like it's not the most he's not the most stable player, but when his works out it looks pretty nice. Just like it did in this game. And yeah, 17-7 here for Znat. Jardaboj, obviously, that would be his first loss in this season. So already with that, Znat does better against him than all the other guys in his group. He's just already a feat by himself. As I think by now Jardaboj showed that he is one of the favorites for winning this season in Division 2. 16-8 continues. Jardaboj pinging some tank formations. Can you get them with the JOD-7D5s? IG over here. Not firing on anything. Not taking this flag back over here. And yeah, he has control over this, and this is so hard to get back into, as I stated earlier. Trying to get back in here is so rough. And now Znat could even go up here and take the flag this way over the fast route instead of the long, slow route around. But instead he's, for now, setting up better defensive in the center. 2 Flak 41s to keep any of the bombers away from his units, and this is a really good choice, I think. One single Flak 41 will not be able to deter the D5 though from dropping its bombs onto these Panzer 4. This one Panzer 4. Yeah, 2 would have been able to. Now it comes a bit too late. But it stretches out the barrage far enough so that the JOD-7D5 doesn't even get a kill onto the G1. Panzer 4G. So that's a good one, at least. It's heavily damaged, but yeah, that's an important thing to keep in mind. Like, sure, it also hits more area if you pin a cluster bomber, but it also loses a lot of damage per square meter. Because the shots are way more spread out. Wait, it's really going for the 231? It's not even hitting. Oh boy. Not good for Jardaboj at all. 15-9 now for Znat. We lost a couple of flags for a bit of time, but gets them back now with his Panzer 4G back in action. JD-75 number 3 coming in. But yeah, this is not working out. And this feels kind of like Jardaboj not quite playing to his strengths. Like, usually he is the guy with a division like 21st and with a lot of armor, and not so much with planes. Like, he's the guy complaining about planes, but usually not the guy playing them. Yeah. This time he's the guy playing them, and it's not working out. His Splendata just got pretty much crushed here by Znat. Sturmpanzer 4 engaging onto the Pioneer Assault. Oh my god, that's a lot. That's a lot of dead Pioneers there. And there they go. That's a lot of damage by this 150mm howitzer. It's reloading. Re-aiming. It's firing onto a tank now. Shot is flying. Shot is landing in the middle of nowhere. Not even close to the stock over here. It continues firing back onto the Sturmpanzer 4. It's not now up to a 17-7. Yeah, Jardaboj is trying. You can see he's a guy who never gives up before the game is over. But in this one, it's really, really rough. MG-34 engaging onto the Ersatztruppen. Stuck trying to move forward. He doesn't have the infantry. He doesn't even have the air force now anymore because of the Flak 41's breakthrough. Comes in with some more infantry in the south, but they will just get melted by the two Shermans coming in over here. Panzer Grenadiers, which is MG-34, and CQC also obviously goes to the Panzer Grenadiers. Flak 41 over here now starts to take off the Stokes. J87 D5s coming in. But one will be pinned down for sure. Second one should be pinned down as well before it can throw its cluster off. Yeah. And Panzer IVs and Shermans get the kill on the first Stoke. Engage the Vanatory Kana over here, get the kill there as well. Next Stoke is critted. Next Stoke is down. Flak 41's not quite able to... Oh no, okay. Throws a couple of clusters, but it doesn't throw all the clusters. 37 also gets killed off afterwards. Focke-Wulf A8 continues to be on the hunt. JRS not getting through. Actually, most likely will go down. And the Stokes are down. The Shermans are still alive. Flak 41's are still fine. Planes are dying. And it's not only 1 minute 50 away from winning here. Even close to an 18-6. Yeah, this was a game that was really active from the get-go, and it's not just got the engagements he wanted. Jardaboj didn't. Jardaboj also got unlucky a couple of times there with the dice rolls. With the RNG. But overall, just a really clean game here from Znat. Like, for German early aggression that was not supposed to be there really like that, because obviously after all he is the guy playing balanced here. But yeah, just like Sean, for example, he's not the guy who who is trying to turtle when he plays balanced. He's the guy who just tries to win the battle he can win, and in this game it was a lot of battle he was able to win. There were a lot of battles there for that. Okay, now Jardaboj trying to stretch the AA defenses in by taking on the outer range of them with two different J87 D5s. But now there's also Focke-Wulf coming up. First J87 D5 is forced back. Second one gets its clusters out, but will not get out of here alive. And yeah, this is a really, really good game here by Znat. Really pretty clean. J8075 now goes down to the Flak 41s, and the game is over. That should be, yeah, rather one-sided KD as well. So Znat still on course for maybe getting to the playoffs. Only one game away. We will see how that goes in a couple of minutes. So then, see you guys. Yeah, we'll go into a short break. setting up game number 2. Jardaboj, as I said, already safe first place, but obviously would be nice to go in there undefeated and catch the tie here, as he's 4-0 so far in matches. 8-0 in maps. Now 8-1. So before we return to the game, guys, let's talk about how we sponsor this whole tournament and how you can support sponsoring the sponsorship of it without even paying anything. The way to do so is going to Matcherino and using the codes. Exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat gets you here. Then using the code Sherman will add 50 cents to the prize pool. That way you can support the tournament. And I obviously already used the code Sherman. I can't do it again, but you only have to click on contribute and then go with that. And other ways is using all the sponsorship quests here on the side. Sadly, at the moment there is not too many. None of them is all of them involving Twitter or Twitch. No free ones with just visiting links or so. But other than that, maybe getting a hoodie, just like the one I'm wearing right now, for 35 bucks, with 35 bucks also directly going to the prize pool, and you're getting a nice hoodie for it. Or obviously you can just contribute directly into the tournament, just like awesome guys like Jackal Rush, FMOL, Sean, or Jabo did. But yeah, thanks to all the sponsors again, and let's hop it back into game number 2 after this short sellout section. And game number 2 brings us Axis versus Allies. Jardaboj hopping onto the second clean day for this one, and Znat on 21st. Second clean day is a division we saw reoccurring again over the last couple of days and weeks, which is pretty interesting. They were really underused for a long while. Always like sometimes a dark horse that came out of nowhere and then either failed hard or did really great. It's obviously one of the most rushed focused divisions out there, with all the M8s and really little infantry and all of that, and good Shermans. Let's see if Jardaboj can make them work. Let's see if Jardaboj can make them work. So here we go. Game number 2. Between Jardaboj and Znat. Znat again with 21st on the left. On Orsha East, which is a weird map for the 21st Panzer. Let's see how it works out. Also, we will see Shermans versus Shermans. M10 tank destroyers is also something I used with them, but I'm not 100% sure if it's really good to use the tank destroyer with the second blinde. I'm not totally sold on the M10s. But I think they have 10 hit points now as well, so that should be okay. I'm not 100% sure. The first game was first blindata for Jardaboj, and 21st also for Znat. With Znat taking the victory there against the blindata. With, yeah, Jardaboj just not taking the right tank engagements. Also getting a bit unlucky and then totally messing up in the skies. Pioneers, so all of that combined, ending up in Znat winning game number 1. Well, not actually totally messing up, but just Znat getting the right defense against the cluster bombers with the Flak 41s and having the rest under control with his fighters and forcing Jardaboj into too much air investment so that Jardaboj was not able to invest anything into the ground anymore and was way too overstretched and just lost there. Oh yeah, Jardaboj again on flatline. Bit surprising. As flatline really. Even V for Victory I think is better in tournaments, and like because V for Victory can be okay against certain incomes like balanced. But there's really no matchup in which flatline is any good, so yeah, I don't see a real point in picking it. Like before, flatline was good against everything, now flatline is not good against anything. Just because of how the incomes work out now. So I don't think there's much point in taking it. But yeah, I guess Mr. Jardaboj just wants to play a bit off meta. So I think playing flatline is one of the least interesting ways of doing that. Because really it doesn't change much for how you play, it just gives you a disadvantage. Like, not like V for Victory, which gives you like a cool or like interesting way of playing with like pushing in the early game, then being absolutely crippled for a couple of minutes and then going into overdrive again. A lot of Panzer IVs versus Shermans. But the Sherman gets the second shot first and gets at least a mutual destruction out of it. Which is still an advantage for the Panzer IVs because they're cheaper. But at least it got one kill out of there. 231 over here dying. Znat up to 1311. Wolf bomber coming in. Will hit the infantry over here. Kill off the pioneers. Panzer 3M chilling out there. Panzer IVs versus Shermans will be the overall theme of this game, I guess. With Shermans and M10s in the center. Mate over here, engaging some Ersatztruppen with its 50 cal. Doing quite a bit of stress there. Pinning it down relatively fast. The 50 cal's stress got fixed. Now actually doing solid suppression instead of... Like I think before it was 5 or something. Also... Now it's doing 26. The vehicle mounted one. Ooh, a lot of Shermans versus Panzer IVs. Was the one Panzer IV up here. Should go for the Shermans, obviously. But they continue bouncing for now. And here come in more shells. A couple more Panzer IVs coming around, but this one should be dead before the others come around, and there it finally goes. Ooh, Marder here is really nice. This Sherman is in trouble. This Sherman tries to get out, but gets killed on the way out. And this is a really nice Marder position, especially if the enemy doesn't have any recon to spot it. And yeah, it looks over a lot of key points here, keeping Jardaboj from pushing over the edge. Obviously, giving up the edge in the first place is shitty, but at least if you have to, this is one of the best spots to have something out there for tank destruction. Panzer IVs over here moving forward. That's Troopen together with Panzer Force trying to push back in the south. And Jardaboj is only buying Germans. Germans. Looks to be game plan here, but just pretty standard with second lane there because you don't have much else. Like your infantry numbers, especially in A, are so limited that affording anything else is rather hard. Maybe you can get a mortar half-track or something, but like Shermans is basically the most available unit you have in the early game. And actually, throughout the game. Panzer IV gets to kill on another Sherman over here, that now will fall to the others. I think they keep on pushing. No more tanks in the south right now for Znat. Might be being an issue here for him, yeah. Shermans get a kill on another Panzer IV. And there's no infantry here with AT, so all the Ersatztruppen are basically toast. And this is really, really nice for Znat and Jardaboj, and really bad for Znat, because it will allow Jardaboj to most likely push through the whole south here. Shermans in the center. More Ersatztruppen and Panzer IV is moving in the north. And force coming in as well. I don't know if Sherman spam is the new meta. Working out on this game. Shermans for sure are decent again now. Like, they all vehicles got buffed, but Shermans got to buff the most when it comes to dealing with infantry, but they also rather blind when it comes to dealing with AT guns and so on, and like long range they get massacred, but yeah, there's not enough good long range engagements on this map, which is why I think the 21st is a bad pick here. Overall, I think Armored Divisions got quite a bit of buff in this patch, but most things that were true before are still true now. Like, a lot of cheap infantry is better than expensive infantry, and medium tanks are the way to go when it comes to tanks. Shermans being the best in infantry support, Panzer IVs being basically cheap tank destroyers, being able to punch up above their weight as well, and by dealing with Tigers and T-34-85s and so on. Yeah. I actually don't know if there's a real meta at the moment, but there's a lot of solid divisions. Like, I guess if you want to put it down to a meta, it's still get a lot of cost-efficient stuff. And that cost-efficient stuff being either medium tanks, planes, or infantry. And in the best world, everything of all of these. And then you play 3rd Canadian, and yeah, that's still there. Only issue with 3rd Canadian by now, they ain't endless anymore. Like, you run out of stuff at some point, which is good. Because before it was, oh yeah, you have cost-efficient stuff, and you have the cost-efficient stuff forever. Not the case anymore. Here's that Troopen in the south getting melted by Shermans. Wolf trying to come in. Actually, Panzer IVs are pretty good in dealing with Shermans. Usually. Like, if you get 4 Panzer IVs versus 3 Shermans, you win. And that's somewhat equal. Like, they are cheaper than Shermans. You get more Panzer IVs than Shermans, you win. And as they're cheaper, you can get more of them than Shermans. So, if they're equal in number, it depends on the range. On long range, actually, the Panzer IV wins as well, because the penetration is better. Yeah, these Shermans became commandos. Got caught off by a couple of Ersatztruppen. Quite shameful there. One of them got blown off by bombs as well. But yeah, Pioneers now coming in. Together with another tank destroyer. M10. And getting the ridge on this map is really, really important. But yeah, little Sebastian, if you have any other questions, obviously, always feel free to ask them. Panzer IV coming around here, trying to deal with the Pioneers. They will unload in time. And the Shermans are still a big issue here. 231 in a bad spot there, getting onto the Shermans. Another Panzer IIIM. Still not quite sure if I like Panzer IIIs. Still not quite sure about that. Stuppen and Flammenwerfers coming up. Panzer IVs up here against Sappers. First German coming in for Znat. But Jardaboj this time up to 16-8, and if he wins this here, Znat's dreams of getting to the playoffs are over. So he has to get this game around, and it is possible, as he's obviously having the late game income. And he's not out just yet, but with an 18-6 he will be out really fast here. And this is now the 18-6, and this is a problem. This is a big problem. He's trying to push back in the north. But there's still a lot of tanks up here. Jardaboj really not investing into much else. And he has overwhelming forces in the south. Not having any Pak 40s or so that can like deal with Shermans in numbers is a bit of an issue. Same as not having a Panther or so that could have held the south against Shermans. Because Shermans are actually pretty shitty against Panthers and other tanks like that have like over 100 millimeters of frontal armor. But they are bullies when it comes to dealing with lower price tanks. As they have good frontal armor, they can have the aim time bonus and all of that. Focke-Wulf 190 GA1s coming in now. Getting the Sappers over here. More Pioneers coming in. Wolf over here getting called back too early by Znat. Don't know why. But yeah, being pushed from the hill and being pushed into this position over here, always not good. As the blue player. At least he gets the north now back, but even that is under pressure by Jardaboj. So it looks like we have two games that are decided relatively early on here, with heavy pushes from both players, ending up in one player getting the better out of all the trades, basically. Yeah, this time Znat starts to get some solid trades, but it's really late into the game by now for these standards. Ooh, he gets to kill all the tanks down here, but there's still two more Shermans over here that now swing north. And yeah, obviously Znat needs to get it to a 14-10 and play from there. Give himself a bit more time. Sherman's coming in over here. Yeah, but sure, Felix? Sherman and M10 combo is nice, but I think Sherman and Panzer IV combo is even better. Because I think Panzer IVs are better than M10s. Panzer IV Gs over here, engaging onto... Though now with the 50 cal buff, maybe not. Because M10 also have a 50 cal. So maybe not. Panzer IV G over here killing a 180 gun, but more remaining. And the Mother over here got killed off as well. And this allows Jardaboj to push in over here. Also, he's taking over again in the north. And this is really bad news for Znat. This is really, really bad news. He's somehow starting to get the south back again, but obviously he invested a lot right here, but Jardaboj already swung his attention somewhere else. And this is the issue. Like, when you're a defensive player and try to catch up with the investments of the opponent, then you save yourself at one point, but that's already the second where he invests into somewhere else, and then you have to try to catch up there. Whilst you still have to push in the south, and then he invests somewhere else again, and it puts you under pressure there, and yeah, it's so hard to get yourself out of this position. And I don't think Znat will be able to, because the time is really running out right now. 18-6 is always so rough to get out of again. Time is just draining so quickly. And it's getting even worse here, because Jardaboj is still getting good trades, because Znat isn't forced into pushing a bit over-eager. Sherman's not finding anything right here. Trying now to swing north, but oh my god, there's so many half-tracks. The other voltageers coming in. German up here doesn't do much. Wolves flying around. MG42 getting killed off. And 21-3 for Mr. Jardaboj. And 1 minute 22 remaining. Jardaboj keeps on pushing into the center. 1 minute remaining on the clock. Well, Fogel 190 G1 hitting the Flammenwerfers. Getting Znat at least a couple of flags back for a couple of seconds. Before this game is over though. Like, not much time remaining here. And he doesn't have anything to push back himself. And even losing his Shermans over here. This is really bad news. Needed a 2-2 against the Shermans with extra veterancy to get a pushback there maybe. Also still 4 Shermans remaining in the north. And yeah, it's bringing it back to an 18-6 now. But 1 minute 25 on the clock. German pushing into territory where there is no AT, so that's good. Might even bring it back to 17-7, but even then... Oh my god, he got all the Shermans over here killed? What? How that? Oh my god, this one 2-star Sherman killed... Even though it was damaged already, I think? Before? Killed both the other Shermans of Jardaboj on the way to maybe capture this flag. It's a 17-7 now. That Panzer IV over here gets killed off. Bad news. Jardaboj is just spamming AT guns. Which works out, killing off another Sherman here. Focke-Wulf trying to pin him down, but Half-Track's now just on the way to try to capture flags. Sherman over here died, I'm not... Oh yeah, 2D. M1 guns over here. Really good usage of those by Jardaboj as well. Panzer IV H's over here. Killing off Half-Tracks. Panzer IV H over here. Engaging onto the Shermans. Jardaboj as well. And 21-3. And yeah, after the pretty clean win in game number 1 for Znat, now a pretty clean game in game number 2 for Jardaboj. Not quite the difference in KD that we had in the first game, but Jardaboj also had even the superior income when it came to the early game. So overall, he had quite a bit more on the field there. And he kept the pressure up. And really got it going here. So GGVP to him. And this means, let's have a look onto Group A.